Good evening, I'm Jeff Glore, and this is our Western edition. We're going to begin here tonight with the battle reaching a boil. The president versus the speaker. President Trump today called off Speaker Nancy Pelosi's trip to Afghanistan just as she was about to leave. That followed her request yesterday that the president postpone his State of the Union address while the shutdown continues. In a statement, Senator Lindsey Graham wrote, quote, "One sophomoric response does not deserve another." And tonight, the president canceled his delegation's trip next week to the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. Major Garrett has more.
In the letter to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, President Trump wrote her trip to Belgium and Afghanistan aboard a military jet was postponed because it would be better if you were in Washington negotiating with me to end the shutdown. Mr. Trump called the visit to Afghanistan, where U.S. troops are stationed, a, quote, public relations event, and suggested Pelosi could fly commercial. The White House published the letter less than an hour before Pelosi and several lawmakers were to depart. Some had boarded buses outside the Capitol. Democrat Adam Schiff was part of the delegation.
It certainly sounds like it was another impetuous act of a president who has difficulty controlling his response to things.
Pelosi's spokesman said the purpose of the trip was to thank men and women in uniform and get intelligence briefings from those on the front lines. As commander-in-chief, the president controls travel on military aircraft, but typically details of such trips are closely guarded. In late December, 4 days after the shutdown began, the president visited U.S. troops serving in Iraq and described the security precautions.
Darkened plane with all windows closed, with no lights on whatsoever, anywhere. I know all of the things that were surrounding us for safety.
Today, a White House official denied postponement of Pelosi's trip was retribution for the speaker's request that Mr. Trump delay the State of the Union over concerns furloughed federal workers might not be able to secure the event.
No, I'm not denying a platform at all. We're saying let's get a date when government is open.
The historically long shutdown appeared no closer to ending.
While many Democrats in the House and Senate would like to make a deal, Speaker Pelosi will not let them negotiate.
What negotiating table are we not at? I've never discouraged anybody from not accepting an invitation from the President of the United States.
Major, a lot of high stakes back and forth here. Any actual negotiating taking place?
No negotiations between the White House and top congressional Democrats. Late today, the Vice President and top White House advisor Jared Kushner ventured up to Capitol Hill for a brief meeting with Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, but that was described to us as routine and not about breaking the shutdown stalemate. And as you mentioned, Jeff, the White House announced Treasury Secretary Mnuchin and the Secretary of State Pompeo not going to Davos, Switzerland. No U.S. representation at the World Economic Forum.
All right, with snow coming down at the White House there, Major Garrett, thanks very much.